Microsoft raised your software subscription bill by as much as 33%. The official reason, printed in black and white in their December 2025 press release, was Copilot, the AI features, the future they promised. Then, before the price increase even took effect, Microsoft canceled those features. Not delayed, not rescheduled. Shelved. Let me tell you something. Microsoft does not want in this video. There is a number buried in a December press release, a number that calculates exactly how much Microsoft collected before anyone noticed what had been taken away. When you see that figure, you will understand why what happened in the last 6 months is not a product decision. It is the most expensive bait and switch in the history of personal computing. Here is what we are covering. The day Microsoft charged 240 million PC owners for the consequences of its own hardware decisions. The price hike justified by AI features that were quietly canceled before the ink dried, and the one AI feature Microsoft did ship, the one it kept, even after 2 security delays and a university-issued warning, and why it is on your machine right now, whether you asked for it or not. The first blow landed on October 14th, 2025. It affected 240 million personal computers that had done absolutely nothing wrong. On October 14th, 2025, Microsoft ended free security updates for Windows 10. No grace period. Just a date, and then a price tag, $30. For a decade, Windows 10 ran on virtually every personal computer sold outside of Apple. Microsoft delivered security patches every month for free as part of the basic promise of the platform. That ended because Microsoft introduced hardware requirements for Windows 11 that 240 million existing personal computers could not meet. TPM 2.0 chips, secure boot mandates, processor eligibility restrictions. Microsoft wrote those requirements, Microsoft set that eligibility line, and Microsoft then sold the consequence of that line back to the people it affected for $30 a year. The European Union's consumer watchdog, Euroconsumers, identified exactly what this was. They called it planned obsolescence, using artificial technical requirements to force a hardware refresh on users whose machines were functioning perfectly well. Under regulatory pressure, Microsoft made the ESU program free in Europe. In the United States, the price stayed. Here's the part worth reading twice. Microsoft's so-called free enrollment option does exist, but only if you agree to sync your personal computer settings and data to a Microsoft account and OneDrive. The alternative to paying $30 is surrendering your data to Microsoft's cloud. That is not a free option. That is a toll. 240 million personal computers, $30 each, or give us your data. That is the choice Microsoft presented to the largest cohort of personal computer users in the world. But the $30 charge on your existing computer was just the entry ticket. 3 months after that deadline, Microsoft published a press release that most people read as good news. It wasn't. There is a number in that announcement that tells you exactly what you were paying for and exactly what you weren't getting, and it's worse than you think. On December 4th, 2025, Microsoft announced that Microsoft 365 subscription prices would increase across every commercial tier, effective July 1st, 2026. Business Basic from $6 to $7. Business Standard from $12.50 to $14. The Frontline Worker tier, the lowest cost plan used by retail employees, healthcare workers, and hourly staff, went from $2.25 to $3. That's a 33% increase on the people who can least afford it. And the official justification, printed in Microsoft's own blog post, was Copilot. More than 1,100 new features, the AI they had been building, the future of work. What Microsoft did not mention was that by December 2025, the most visible part of that AI future had already been quietly dismantled. In 2024, Microsoft announced that Copilot would become ambient across Windows 11. Not a sidebar, not a button, embedded into settings, into notifications, into File Explorer. The operating system itself would become an AI layer, proactively surfacing information, suggesting actions, learning your workflow. This was the promise that justified the Copilot plus PC hardware category. The Copilot key on every new keyboard, the NPU chip requirement. The entire rebranding of the Windows hardware ecosystem around a feature called ambient intelligence. Here's the part where most channels would stop. We are not stopping. According to a March 2025 report from Windows Central, Microsoft had quietly shelved those plans. The settings integration was canceled. The notifications integration never shipped. The File Explorer Ambient AI was gone. The Windows Copilot runtime, the foundation the entire ambient system was supposed to run on, was renamed Windows AI APIS, stripping the Copilot brand from the infrastructure that was supposed to make Copilot universal. What remained were scattered features and individual apps, not the unified AI layer Microsoft had marketed. A Reddit community named what was left Microslop. Microsoft attempted to ban the term from its official Discord server. It spread anyway. They raised the price. Then they canceled what they sold you. But that number only tells half the story. Because while Microsoft was billing you more for Copilot and shipping less of it, it was also deploying the One AI feature that two security researchers, an independent developer, and the University of Pennsylvania all warned was a privacy and security threat. And it went on your machine anyway. While Microsoft was canceling the ambient Copilot integration, it kept shipping Recall. And Recall is on your Copilot Plus PC right now. Here is what Recall does. Every few seconds, it takes a screenshot of your screen and stores it in a searchable database on your machine, your banking portal, your medical searches, your personal messages, your passwords as you type them, every document you open, every conversation you have in any app that does not specifically block it. All of it, photographed, indexed, and searchable by anyone who can access your device, or in the original version, anyone who could access an unencrypted database that sat unprotected on your hard drive. Security researcher Alexander Hagena built a tool called Total Recall in 2024 that could extract and display the entire contents of Recall's database in minutes. He built it to demonstrate the risk. Microsoft's response was to delay the launch twice and then ship it anyway on Copilot Plus PCS, that brand new hardware category. The machines with the NPU chip, the computers where Windows 11 was supposed to justify the upgrade cost. On April 14, 2025, the University of Pennsylvania's Office of Information Security published a formal warning stating that Recall introduces substantial and unacceptable security, legality, and privacy challenges, and that administrators were strongly urged to disable it. As of today, fewer than 10% of Windows 11 PCS can even run Recall, which means Microsoft used a feature with a university security warning to justify requiring a hardware upgrade that most users cannot afford and most machines cannot perform. The subscription price increase paid for the Copilot features Microsoft canceled. The hardware upgrade requirement paid for the Copilot Plus PC category. The Copilot Plus PC gave you Recall. That is the full chain. You were billed 3 times for a product Microsoft half built and half surveilled. Microsoft designed a system that profits from your money and photographs your screen. But here is what they did not calculate. When users actually run the numbers, when they add the ESU charge, the subscription increase, and the hardware upgrade requirement, the math on Linux does not just look good, it looks obvious. So what does this mean for your computer? Here is what the people who ran that math are doing. They are installing Ubuntu, Linux Mint, or Zorin OS. All 3 are free, beginner-friendly, and run on the machines Microsoft called obsolete. Lenovo's ThinkPad line officially certifies Linux out of the box. Framework laptops are built for it. System 76 ships with it pre-installed. You can run any of these from a USB drive before you commit to a single change. 0 cost, Zero risk. One afternoon. The $30 Microsoft charged for Windows 10 security updates buys you 1 year. A Linux install is free permanently, and it does not take a screenshot of your screen every few seconds. When Microsoft's own customers calculated what they actually received for the price increase, they found Copilot features canceled, ambient integration shelved, and the product renamed to conceal the retreat. The response was not anger. It was exit. Quietly, without a press release, they stopped paying for what was not there. Microsoft built a system that charges you for promises, cancels the promises, and keeps the charge. They counted on you not doing the math. You just did. Stop letting them own your computer.